Yo, guys, what's happening?
Listen,
bro. Is it me, yeah? Or is Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock, mate? They are moving mad out here, fam.
Yo,
they are moving like all them Nigerian politicians and that.
Like third world country.
Bro, what's going on? They're moving like all them African politicians, bro.
Yo, it's mad.
Like,
to be funny though, all these things happen everywhere. That's what it shows. Though.
But
it's just, they're good at hiding that.
But they got
that's
exposed
my
this
point,
time.
though. It's so flagrant right now, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's so flagrant. If you think about it, because I was watching on TV, yeah, they were talking about he paid his man. No, his man gave him 50 bags for him to renovate his house. In return, he's gonna give the guy like bad contracts and everything. You know what I'm saying?
So,
I was
like
thinking,
mates rates kind of thing.
bro.
That's what they're trying to prove. Obviously, that's what comes with politics. Favors in high places. It's not new. Yes, in Africa, places like Nigeria and co, there's a lot of conversations about that because it's openly done, and people expect, once you've got a friend in power, it's about time you're about to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
But when you come to the Western world, people expect that things like that don't happen, but it's a lie. It happens all the time. However, because the system runs a lot better than it does in developing countries, people don't put their eyes on that. If not for social media and our 24-hour media cycle, this wouldn't be news in 1993.
That's true, though.
Very true.
You're right. That's true.
1987 with the prime minister then and all of those guys. She had her son was caught up in a coup d'etat somewhere in Africa.
Yeah, that's mad still.
In Africa, yeah.
That's mad.
Spending hundreds of millions of pounds to try to get a government elected only because he wanted to be the main contract guy. Margaret Thatcher's son.
All right.
They had to fly
Didn't
him
even
back.
know.
They put him in
You see that, like you're saying, all right, because like no one's talking about it.
They found him guilty. They found him guilty. They locked him up. So the ex-prime minister, obviously, she cried to the government. My son's in jail in Africa. Let's go get him. So they had to go get him based on MI6 British power thing.
Of course,
wow.
He would have died in prison. Yeah, because he was funding. A
fucking coup in that. Yeah.
Yo,
So
I did
that's
not
what
know
they do.
this.
So they do that all over the place, and in systems like in places like the UK and the United States of America, where politics has a lot more eyes on them, they try to find other ways
To do it.
to give people money. Like, oh, I'm not able to fund, to give you money over the counter. So when you're launching your book, I'm gonna buy 1 million copies.
Yeah,
I'll do it that kind of way.
Yeah.
Invite you to come and speak at my fundraising dinner and pay you £500,000. That's what Tony Blair does. Tony Blair gets paid. At the time when he left the office, he was getting paid $500,000 bags.
Yeah, he was.
That's crazy,
for
bro.
speeches.
Because he
David Cameron
was quite good at it, wasn't he? He went places everywhere you see him.
He's an expert, bro, isn't it?
David Cameron, that's why he got entangled in some heat the last couple of weeks, because he became a director of a company where the owner of that company, I believe, used to be an advisor to him when he was a prime minister.
Okay.
So when he stepped down as prime minister, they took him in as a director. Now, the financial crisis over the last 12 months hit the company bad, and they wanted to get some government funds. This whole PPE loans and all of that stuff, save your furlough scheme. Of course, they have an ex-prime minister on their books. Why don't you give the new chancellor and the prime minister a call and make sure that our company gets money? So he gave them a phone call, send them WhatsApp messages, boom. That hits the public space that the ex-prime minister was trying to pressure the councillor and the prime minister to get money for the private company that he's now a director of.
That is crazy, bro.
So I saw the text when he came. It was mad.
It's the same thing.
That is crazy, because if you look at it, right? But then this is the difference here, though, right? Here, when they find out and they are questioning the prime minister or whoever it is, right? He knows that his job is on the line.
Yes.
Right? He knows that his job is on the line. So his job is to find a way to be like, nah, this not. Yeah, to obviously let it go away. But then in Nigeria or in Africa, it's quite different. Because I was watching some politician, right? This was in Nigeria, and he was asked like, "Oh, do you think that you collect bribes and you think you're bad, whatever, right? And my mom was like, the thing is, I can say that I'm not perfect. The money that I'm collecting, how this is to take care of my mom, for my mom to go on medical bills and everything.
To be honest with you,
Mama was saying it on national TV, bruv.
It's not because of the system. It's because of the mentality. It's a different thing.
Because they are not held on.
Where we're coming from, we naturally believe that once you get into political power and you get into government, the next thing is to enrich your pockets and enrich your family and close friends. Naturally, it's an acceptable behavior. Whereas if it comes to the policy, it's a different thing. In South Africa, the ex-president was dragged through the mud for spending over $1 million or whatever to renovate his own private house. And they dragged him. He was one of the most powerful guys, He became president after Thabo Mbeki. I forget his name.
Zuma, wasn't it?
Zuma, yeah.
If you Google Zuma now, the investigation is still carrying on. They're not playing. He might not go to jail. He might not get in trouble.
But they're gonna drag him.
Quiet.
They drag him.
They're dragging him. If you look at Nigeria as well, even though nothing will happen, people would. But there are policies there that are supposed to take care of this type of misbehaviors. However, the mindset is completely different. You're looking at, people that 99% of the time, everybody's doing the same thing. I was watching a video I saw on social media yesterday where a police officer was trying to get a bribe from a commuter in Ekiti State, and the commuter was saying, listen, I don't have any cash. Can I transfer you the money? And the police officer was adamant that I want cash.
I think I saw that video.
I'm not listening.
No
I'm not
transfer,
taking no risk.
Yeah, like how am I going to eat and everything? Yeah, how am I going to eat? Yeah, nah.
Well, so it's the order of the day. Yeah, it is the order of the day.
It's because of the mentality. That's where we've come from. That's how things have run. There are policies and systems in place to deal with those types of behavior, but everybody that you want to engage to deal with that type of behavior is engaging in that situation as well. And they have excuses from here to Pakistan to Baghdad.
Wow.
So it's a difficult world, it's a sad state of affairs. It's great to see it happen in the theater here at the Prime Minister's office and see how they're dealing with it. But you and I both know, number one, it's almost like 9.9% certain that he's not going to lose his job. His power, his party is in power. They have steered the country during arguably the most difficult times in the last 20 years. His popularity amongst the public is riding high. The opposition have been battered to a pulp for the past 20
Nothing
years.
is going to happen to him,
Yeah, Labour is nowhere, yeah.
What this can do is probably just be a chink in the armor and soften him up a little bit. So when it's time for the opposition to have a little bit more strength,
they can say,
they can. But with regards to this thing, going nowhere.
No,
50 bags.
no,
I swear,
that's not.
ain't the votes coming on? Is it Thursday?
Yeah, for Mayor of London.
Yeah, roughly. Oh, it's Mayor of London.
Yeah, for the Mayor of London.
It's Mayor and the local election. So what the opposition, the Labour Party and co are trying to say is, this is an example of Tory cronyism and
this is what they
taking
do.
care of their friends and just enriching the Ethiopian boys and Oxford University, Cambridge, all of that. If you want to go back to a system where we care about the people, start voting for opposition from the local elections, such as the mayoral situation, and hopefully when we get to a general election, we'll be strong enough to get these guys out.
Right.
That's the approach.
Right.
I reckon
it's
that's kind of old now. We've heard it time and time again. It's always it happens that they say that, then it's the same.
I reckon Labour again, though.
I reckon
it's a popularity contest. A lot of people don't understand that. Politics is a PR stunt.
100%.
The person
Most
that's
of the
most
time,
popular and most likable eventually gets elected in. So regardless of what the general public think, if you've done a great job at marketing yourself, Boris Johnson was the first Conservative in years that people from the other line actually felt like voting for. because he had a successful PR run from being mayor of London and making a fool of himself.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Having 6 or 7 kids out of wedlock. And,
Mama's a player, you know.
So he's doing his thing.
Nah, he's out there. He's out there, bro.
That email.
Nah,
And
he's
he was
wild,
having an
bro.
affair as well. He had some
He's wild,
mistress
bro.
or something
He's
as well.
wild, bro. He's wild. But let's double back to the whole Nigerian thing. What do you think, from your own perspective? Because at the end of the day, we are not politicians, and everything, you know. What do you think that Nigeria needs to do? Because we are looking at Ghana making moves. You know, the CEO of Twitter. You know, he now has his thing in Ghana and everything. Ghana's looking nice out here in the, you know, all over the world, right?
I've said that.
So what do you think Nigeria has to do, man?
Leadership.
Because we got to do something.
Leadership. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do if your leaders lack ideas, if they lack understanding of what's going on in the world, if they lack empathy on what the problems that the people are facing, if they can't connect with what everybody else is doing around the world, if you've got leaders that are, you know, they're 40 years late, you know, they're stuck in 1987. You know, these are leaders that don't understand that the younger generation, the young guys and girls of today, you know, they are the job creators. They are the inspiration to the future leaders. They are everything. You don't have to be in the office 9 to 5 with a tie around your neck to make an income and pay your tax. They have to understand that, you know, just sitting down waiting for oil to come out of rivers and stuff, that's all. No. Job creation, one. You know, they have to look at other areas of job creation, the IT sector, the internet, you know. Things have changed.
A lot of things have changed, bro.
Number 2, you have people that need ideas, man. You know, you have to engage the young folk. You have to engage
because we have the brains.
We have everything.
We have everything, bro.
Human resources like nowhere else in the world. We have, you know, resilience that I don't believe any other country can boast of.
No.
Probably only China. Because a lot of the recent generation, the generation over the last 40 years have been born into instability, poverty, and knowing struggle for life. So we take it in our stride.
100%.
We go everywhere else in the world and excel because of the fact that we came up in an unstable situation. So Nigeria has what it takes apart from leadership. So we need to find a way to ensure that this old, you know, archaic, eagle-eyed guys don't get into power and only take care of themselves and get private jets and fly here to London and their kids be looked at as celebrities when they've done absolutely nothing.
Fuck all, mate. Because
but just, you know, just eat off mommy and daddy's money that they've stolen from the government. You know? And, you know, because of poverty again, it's put Nigerians into positions where we look at you, we know where you've got your money from, but because we're in desperate positions, we still have to hail you and
try and collect something
just because we need to survive. So when people have to survive, you know, they would allow anything.
A lot of things.
I think that's a tool as well. That they actually, I think these politicians know that poverty is.
It's a tool.
It is a tool, I think, because
They want
they're
to
using
keep
it.
people in
They
place
want to
and in
keep
line and
people in
stuff.
check, like keep them down. They're always wanting. Because I don't see why. Okay, say the NSAS. Okay, let's see for when's the next election again? 23, isn't it?
23,
Let's see what that NSAS would. Because I don't think.
But I don't think that's going to do. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to do nothing, bro.
At one point, when do we now have that mentality shift? Like you mentioned mentality now.
I think.
So when does that shift happen?
I think the shift happened. There is no way in the world that the Nigerian government will believe that young, jobless, and those that have jobs will stand up one day and let the world be aware of the problem.
What's going on?
They never believe that they will come. So what we saw with the NSAS movement was a wake-up call.
That listen.
Yes, it's going to take
do
a
this.
lot more of that. However, now they know that there's some form of power that can happen.
Yeah.
And because of that, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, or 4 potential criminal leaders that might have a change of heart and be like, yo, I don't want them coming to loot my house and kidnapping my kids. These young folk that I'm looking at in my streets, when the vultures do turn on us,
bro, it is nowhere to run. Yeah, they're coming.
So some of them will change. You know, those that live in the city, Lagos, Ibadan. You know, of course, those in the north, they don't care. They've kept the people in such.
They've suppressed them, innit? Yeah, they suppressed them right now.
People can't even see beyond that. So I think the NSAS movement was fantastic. It just showed the young people that they do have a voice. They can use it if they came together. But it will take a lot more of that to eventually make a massive change in 2023. And for me, I think another thing that people don't say a lot that I've always wanted to say is that I believe that we need a crooked former leader to have a change of heart.
Somebody,
you know what? The $10 billion I stole, I'm ready to invest it in bringing young leaders forward. That's all we need. We're going to have to say, let bygones be bygones. This guy was crooked. He stole so much money, but he decides to say, do you know what? I'm going to back these young people with that.
He needs to come from the top there. I see your point.
It's got to. It's got to. It's got to. It's got to.
You don't.
It's got to.
And then hopefully others will follow suit, kind of thing. Yeah.
Someone said to me that what this guy did in Ghana, Jerry Rollins,
killing everybody.
Yeah, that. You know, if we're not careful, a time will come when someone might just rise up one day.
Broken the system down. That would have happened even during the NSAS movement. Of course, that's if that was 30 years ago, that instantly that's military regime. They're coming in straight. The people are not happy. Boom. The next thing will be my countrymen, my fellow countrymen, due to instability in the country.
We are here.
We're taking over.
That's it.
You know, but the system has been broken down so much. It's impossible now going forward to have young military men or women that would decide to step into that type of role, because you have a situation where all the presidents we've had were ex-military men.
Of course.
In trying to secure their position as presidents, they broke the teeth of the up-and-coming military guys. Retired other threats to their positions. Put them out of their jobs just to keep themselves safe. Obasanjo did the same. Buhari came in, retired all the pumps.
This guy, they've got the army on lock.
So they just straight away just made this, you know, this army, made them impotent, made them toothless. You know, they had an ex-air marshal or whatever. He was assassinated 2 years ago. Killed by the roadside.
Wow.
You know? Until tomorrow, ain't nobody. He was ex-minister for aviation or something, proper chief of army staff or whatever. They killed him like a dog on the side of the road. Till tomorrow, we don't know who killed him. So they just picked all the opposition, wherever the problem is, retired them, fired them, that's it. So to now get people that would have to have that type of clout, get to that level and say, okay, they can put a couple guys together and say, yo, let's go for the head.
Nah, they're not gonna do that.
That's not gonna
That's not gonna do that, man.
It's too
be
tough.
hard.
That's mad. That's mad. That's
They're
mad.
gonna need some bad guys that are ready to die. Storm on the, you know, that is too much. It's too much. Too many, and then there's too much risk. How many people are you going to be speaking about that kind of stuff to?
Yeah, of course.
That would be agreeing.
That's the thing, because people are hungry, innit? You know what I mean? Like someone will just go to straight to the back and be like, "Listen, this is what you guys want to do. So how much you gonna give me?"
They can't do that. I think we've gone past that. What we just want, where we are, is a powerful person with a change of heart. That's all we need.
Yeah, man.
We need a
Makes
crook
sense.
that's a repentant crook that's got money in the bag.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Decides to back somebody that he knows is genuine with his love for his people, ready to do some amazing things. You know, the president of Ghana, nobody's looking at his pocket. You know,
because he's doing stuff.
Because
he's working, man.
Comes to the
That's
UK,
it.
He brings the banks together, come invest in my country. He goes back home, he makes sure the electricity, he's trying to invest in that. He's trying to bring all the expatriates from everywhere in the world. A lot of Ghanaians that are born and raised in the UK and America move back to Ghana.
Bro, a lot of people are moving back to Ghana, man. A lot of people, man.
So
I think
It's
they've got
maybe
the
easy.
PR,
Yeah.
the
A lot of people are
rebranding
moving back to
is
Ghana,
smart.
man.
That's
You know,
it. That's all you need to do. What Nigeria's had for 10 years due to the Afrobeats community, every Christmas doing concerts and inviting people from around the world to come home. Ghana went hard for 2 years, did the year of return.
That's it.
Opened the doors to everybody and overtook Nigeria.
just like that. You
and
know what I
everybody
mean?
else in
Like,
Africa.
it's mad.
That's Ghana is the place to be now.
Ghana is the place to be. Like the last 3 years right now.
Is a country.
Wow.
Ghana is one of the countries that slavery people were stolen from.
Yeah.
Including Nigeria and all the other
Yeah, it was
parts.
like a
Right.
gateway.
Well,
It was.
Ghana decided to say to the black community outside of Africa that we will offer you a home. So you want to come back home? You want to know where your ancestors were stolen from?
The year return.
We've got it here.
Wow.
When you come home, we'll take you to the
We'll show
to
you.
point of no return. We'll take you to the slave castle. We'll take you to where all those places that you've been dying to see where your ancestors came from. And that's to black people in America, Southern America, and everywhere else in the world. So if you don't have a home, don't worry about that. Just come to Ghana and we will offer you a home. So
They played it
beat
good.
Everybody.
They played it good, man.
Definitely,
They definitely played it good,
definitely.
From
man.
the West Indies, everybody,
Yeah,
Popcorn,
yeah.
everybody's there.
Yeah.
Everyone is there,
Slave
bro.
Dungeon, everybody's in the castle, laying reefs, being emotional. That's sad.
That's it, man. They're doing it good,
Because,
man.
our
Doing it good.
people in Nigeria just so dumb, slow,
Corruption,
very
man.
Self-centered,
Corruption.
It's unbelievable. I think
uneducated,
wicked. Some people put
Unfortunate,
wicked in
really.
there as well because it takes a
They're
wicked
looking at
person
Ghana
to
being jealous.
exactly.
And making phone calls and saying, you've got entertainers that you should have pulled into close and made them official ambassadors. to
Of
do
course.
incredible stuff.
Of course, like Whiskey, Davido, all them guys, man. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, big up to Ghana still. You know, and we are always going to keep on praying for Nigeria, man. You know, but apart from that, listen, man, we really, really appreciate you coming, man.
No, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? You
got
are
Shopsy in the
yeah,
house,
man.
bro.
You are a man that needs no introduction, man.
Thank
You know, you've been doing this for time, bro. You've been
He's
doing
been
this
on
for
it.
time. No, he's been on it, man.
And we're
You know-
tapping into the
he's-
the stardom right
He
now.
is
We're
paving the
tapping
way for
in-
us and
we're
all that,
We're
bro.
tapping into that view of greatness, man.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate it, man.
You know, and we really, really do appreciate you coming, man. You know, everything that you're doing, your interviews are fucking amazing. You know, your shows, all that. We really, really, this is a privilege for us to have you here, man.
Thank you, man.
You know,
Thank you
we
very
really do
much
appreciate
for
you, man.
Taking the time out, to have me here. Unfortunately, I can't drink any of the drinks.
I know, like it's mad.
But I tell
It's
everybody,
mad, like bro, we got drinks here.
There's a lot of drinks here. So
For everyone.
you could drink with your eyes. Like
You know what I mean? We got bad drinks for everyone, man. You know what I mean? But it's so funny that when people come here, they be like, yo, I don't drink, And we're like, listen, we got the drinks for you.
Been a
Yeah.
few. There has been a
You
few.
know, but
good, though.
yeah, man. But once again, man, thank you, man. We appreciate you. You know, so if we're gonna deep dive into you right now, yeah. Your first memory, in this media world, how did you start? Or what made you think, you know what, this is what I want to do? Is it like a passion thing? Or
I studied sciences at university, man.
That's mad.
Sciences, biochemistry, microbiology, plant science, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I came from a scientific background. My dad's a medical doctor. My brother's medical chemist, statistics.
Listen,
where I come
that's
from.
a typical African family right there. You get- typical African family right there.
That's where I came from.
Yeah.
But I always just had like a passion, obviously, initially I didn't have a passion for Nigerian pop music until kind of late in my uni days
Mm-hmm.
was when it really grabbed hold. You know, Two-Face, DBR,
Oh, yeah.
Remedies,
Yeah.
you know, Tribesmen.
Yeah,
that
of
type
course,
stuff.
Tribesmen,
Yeah.
Too Short, Big
So
Low,
we
them.
were just,
lot.
the passion was just basically just listening to the music. When you go to your friend's house, I have the tape in my pocket, so just in case they're not playing your type of music, you hand it over to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yo, bro,
Well, them ones like,
Got a
drop
geez,
this
tape.
one.
Yeah,
play my
When
thing.
you're
Yeah.
on your way out, ask for your
I
tape
beg will
back.
give it. Yeah.
You may never see that again if you didn't claim it back. Yeah.
I know one story. You get me?
So when I moved to the UK, a friend of mine that we had done a bit of modeling together in Nigeria, I used to go and see her in South London, Peckham. And this day I went there, and as I was getting there, she was getting ready to go out with her friend, and she said, I have to go to like a radio. I've got like a local radio station here in Peckham that I do. I host a radio show on, so I have to go. You can go home or you can come with me. It's like it was in summer. It was so hot.
Yeah, you were like,
I
man,
was
let me
like,
just go.
Let me just follow for
Yeah.
you. There's nothing I'm going to do at home. So I went there. That day, the radio station was called Empower. So it's Nigerian Power.
Okay.
In the heart of Peckham. That day, she was practicing to do some voiceovers. So she said, oh, please, can you help me? It's like a conversational voiceover. You know, one of those. So I helped her. We were reading back and forth. And the owner of the pirate station just came from like the back. And I was like, man, I like your energy and your voice and whatever you do. Do you want to host a show?
The energy god. The energy god.
The energy god.
They gotta say the energy god.
And he was like, yo, do you want to come and host a show? I was like, I haven't hosted
Oh,
a
for
show
real?
before. Yeah. I was like, yeah. The guy
Just
said-
like that.
The guy said, there's slots here, man. You can come play whatever music you like. And that's it. Maybe once a week, 2 hours. I thought, why not? I spoke to my friend who's like a third of us. And he was like, yes, yeah, let's do it, man. Shout
Yeah.
outs to Ronke Pampa and Don Lee.
Shout out to them, man.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, let's do it. So we started coming in there. The first show was called the Urban Black Beats. So we were playing everything from hip hop, R&B, dancehall, because dancehall was huge.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
And then one or two kind of like African
Afrobeat,
sounds,
yeah.
like Awilo, Two-Face,
Yeah. The big guys at the time, yeah.
So we'd be playing that. And then a couple years, maybe like a year or two, we changed it. That's when the term Afrobeats in the UK started to swirl around. So we called it Urban Afrobeats.
Right.
So we did that for like maybe like a year on Empower. And then I moved from Empower, which was a pirate radio station, and moved to the first official station here.
Was this the Debanch era?
Before we
No,
got to
before
band.
the band.
Okay.
The band, it started in the UK.
Yeah.
So the band started like 2004, 5.
Yeah, it started over
I've been
here.
on radio here by that time.
Right.
Before the band. Because them Awilo times were before the band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Awilo, Magic System, those were, the band was here. 2005, I believe was when the band started. I think so, 2004,
Damn.
2005, yeah. And then we moved to another radio station called Voice of Africa Radio. That was the first official African licensed station in the UK. And we changed it from Urban Afrobeats to, I think we called it the Afrobeats Show. And then we were playing strictly just African music. So it could be the Afrobeats or R&B, Baki W, and stuff like K-Man from Somalia.
Yeah.
So it was just
Wow.
all
Yeah, I
sorts of
remember.
Like way back, bro. Way back.
And that's where so it became a passion thing for me. Obviously, there was nowhere in this world you'd think that you can earn a living from that. Because it was, we were underground. We were in the dark. We were in some shifty buildings. We were just speaking to an audience that we believed was out there and wanted to listen to our voices, our music, but really didn't have the financial muscle to make any changes for us.
Damn.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now, right? Like then, just like you said, you guys were on the ground, shifty buildings and whatnot, right? Fast forward to right now where things have changed. Everything is digital now.
That's why I'm
Like-
excited.
Right.
That's why I'm, I talk about this generation of Afrobeats and Afro pop artists like they were sent from God. around, because I know how they've, the transition has been, how they've changed perception for Africans here in the UK and around the world. I know where the slight changes started, from P Square to the badge to more hits to Banky W.
Bro,
then to
that era
Whiskey.
was crazy,
So,
man.
It's a transition that I remember every single knob, and to eventually get to a position where now, the Timberlands is mentioning Rema's name like that's his brother.
It's to the
That's
world
crazy,
now.
bro. It's to the
Whatever,
world right now,
For
bro.
me, coming through all of those eras, it's
You must have story
unbelievable.
for years, bro.
Oh, you don't even want to know.
You must have stories for years.
Unbelievable stories.
Who is the artist right now that obviously you're looking at right now and see where they are, right?
Yeah.
But at that time, you're like, yo, I used to know this guy back in the day. Like, we were
Everyone.
all hustling and all that. Like,
Everyone, Yemi Alade, Olamide Bado, every one of them. I was the first person to interview any Afrobeats artist in Europe.
bro, that's major right there, bro. That's major right there,
No,
bro.
but you.
That's major right there. That's
Shout
major
outs-
right there.
Shout outs to the Ben TV's, the Femi Ben TV magazine show, DJ Abbas on Intro. They had like a show, and the Black Knights. But from like 2008, 9, all of the guys you see today,
Yeah.
I was probably the first person that they came across.
They'll just come through, man.
Yeah.
That's
So
what's
I've
up, man.
seen them from Adekunle Gold, just being like a quiet guy in the background. And
Oh, yeah, he's big
no
shot right now.
voice and whatever.
Yeah, he's big shot right
I've seen
now.
all of that, or everything.
And though Jazzy was in that crew, was in at that
Don
point,
Jazzy
that
was
time.
more hits, and they went back home. So
Yeah.
it was Don Jazzy and the band went back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
They started here. DJ Abbas actually gave the band his first ever stage to perform at the Nigerian independence ceremony. I think it's 2005 or something like that. And then he went back to Nigeria and wanted to do stuff. And they decided to, they took that risk and made it big.
I remember that time that they went back to Nigeria, right? A lot of people were like, yo, these guys are crazy to come back to Nigeria. Like, you guys are in the UK and everything, right? But if you actually look at it, from my perspective, maybe I'm wrong. I stand to be corrected, right? But I kind of feel that we kind of perceive artists that come from Nigeria or Africa as authentic Afrobeat
Back then,
artists.
you couldn't be an Afrobeat artist that was successful without going back to Nigeria to make your name. It was a perception. It was because, number one, the producers here didn't get the sounds perfectly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were born and raised in the UK, their accents and pronunciations weren't that
Of course, yeah,
authentic.
Yeah.
So people had to go back home. However, what people forgot was that they were going to be kids like my kids.
Yeah.
Born in 2006.
Yeah.
Raised in the UK by African parents. They don't necessarily have to see, if you're successful coming from Nigeria, that's cool. But they also mess with Midas Jagaban.
Yeah.
They mess with, so it changed.
Yeah.
So because a lot of us back in the early 2000s, yes, a lot of people were born here, but a lot of us that really were championing the culture were born and raised in Nigeria.
100%.
So we had a stronger and a more emotional connection
To
with
it,
artists that were coming from back home. I was super excited to see the Danfo drivers here. I was super excited to see Olumentane or I was gassed to see them here.
Bro, he's naming names, bro. Right? You know what I'm thinking of? Bro, back in the day, when you hear these guys here,
be
he's
gassed.
naming names,
But it
bro.
was that big. I can say for myself, back then, I never used to listen to no American tune then.
Oh, because you know what? If you
It was
remember,
all Afrobeat.
nah, but if you remember in the 90s, it's so crazy that you said that, right? Because in the 90s in Nigeria, right, it was all hip hop, like hip hop,
Hip-hop
you
and
know,
R&B.
boom, boom.
I grew up on everybody from Boys to Men, Kelly,
Exactly.
Jodeci. I went from everybody, Naughty by Nature and all
All that.
So the first Afrobeats music you heard in the late 90s into the early 2000s, even with the beginning of P Square, were Afrobeats music that sampled hip hop and R&B. So
Plantation Boys back
all
in the
of them
day.
would have like a beat, they remake a popular hit record,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
and they made Afrobeat.
Yeah.
So that was the only way most of the fans could take the music in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we hear a sound that we're familiar with, you know, boom, 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 boom. That Kid Sweat had made huge.
Yeah.
And then boom, P Square do their own thing on it.
Peace at the time they were riding
So they were doing
Usher,
that.
fam. They were riding Usher at the time as well.
It's easy, you know. So whilst everybody's going, they play Keith Sweat, you know, they go drop P Square. Everybody's loving it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, or Remedies who do music, dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Facts.
That's a 2-5 beat.
Yeah.
Boom,
Wow.
boom, boom, boom,
Okay.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh, that year, Remedies was mad.
Remedies was mad still.
But shout out to Texila, them, bro.
They had no choice. Everybody had to use, because we were so deep
In hip hop, man.
Hip-hop and
We were deep in hip hop back in the day.
Even a
Yeah.
lot of these artists in America that are dying poor today, if they knew how big they were,
In Nigeria, man, they were
they would be
huge.
kings. They're huge. He was part of looking down on Africa and not thinking that Africa was a place and we got it, you know.
They were
Yeah, so they were charging us like stupid money to come perform in Africa. So only the biggest stars and the biggest platforms could book them.
Yeah.
They're asking for ridiculous money. You know, Chris Brown, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Beyonce, they all performed in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But they had to pay them
Huge money.
millions.
Huge money.
Whereas if they had known, that was only Lagos. They could go to Port Harcourt, they could go to Benin, they could go to
South,
they
Southeast,
would have the
Enugu and all that,
same
yeah.
audience in every
state.
city that they went to.
Every state.
But they didn't know because of social media.
Right.
There's always that looking down on Africans and not thinking that, you know, these people got it, you know. So everybody had to kind of walk that walk. But once we started to enjoy our own beats, slowly but surely the production got better, the mixing and mastering became better, the music videos were of top quality.
Yeah. We just took off.
Yeah, I think that the music video era was
Yeah.
Once you shifted to invest in your music video, that's when
the music video directors
that's when-
became celebrities first.
Yeah, they became like
all of
Clarence and all them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrence,
Peters,
Terrence,
these
yeah.
people became celebrities because they were shooting international videos and stuff, and then slowly but surely it just started to get, you know, grab a hold, and then boom came the
But I
Kid.
think one Afrobeat music video that I watched back then, that was like, damn, this looks different. I think it was P Square.
Which
P
one?
Square came
The one
out
that
with
they had
their
stairs with
no.
stairs
Their
on.
first music video where they started like dancing and everything, right? You know, because they started it. I think they were like the first that actually put in
Because
the
their brother shot the video, so their brother was like almost like the director or executive director.
yeah, so much
He
attention
came
into it. Yeah.
from making movies.
Oh
So
right.
he was a movie maker. He's got two young brothers that had dreams of becoming big in the music business. They started trying and doing their stuff up north and all of those places. And he decided to come to the table and he said, okay, let's join forces. I'll bring my talents to the table. You bring yours to the table. Let's make this thing work. So he started. So most of their videos, he was just directing it.
Yeah.
So he came from the music, from the movie world, and he was giving us some cinematic experience.
True.
And once that happened for them,
Once that happened, then I think more hits now came in.
more hits.
With the visuals, their visuals was crazy at the time as well. You know, listen, if you look back, we've come a long way, man. We've come a long way to the world right now, and right now you're just looking at it. Everyone, because back in the day, we said it here a couple weeks ago. Back in the day, if you say that you're African over here, people are gonna be like, African. But now everybody just want to be African.
Everyone
now,
wants to
man.
embrace that
You
culture,
know what I mean?
man,
Everyone
so
just want
much.
to embrace the culture right now, man. You know, it's crazy. You know, but I'm gonna ask you 3 questions, right? Because we don't want to dive in too deep and everything. Your best or your most favorite interview, your worst interview, and whether you released it or you canned it, right? And who was that artist that you met that you were like, damn, I've made it?
My favorite interview, I think my favorite interview, it's difficult to choose a favorite, but I believe there are some significant interviews that I had. One was the one with Wizkid, as you know, the fast rising Justin Bieber style.
Yeah, yeah.
I was the first person to put a mic in front of him, outside of Africa. Probably the second interview you see of Wizkid anywhere in the world was with me.
Yeah.
And everything that happened before that happened, I interviewed him at Smade's house. He was staying there. He'd come, him and Ice Prince. So I think that interview was significant because everything that we saw and we felt that we saw, he became and surpassed. We saw a young star that was about to shift the game and open the door and do something exciting for the young folk in the game.
Yeah.
Nobody could have dreamed of how high this guy was going to go.
Yeah.
So that was incredible. Another one that I would repeat is interesting. You speak of Wizkid, you have to speak of Davido. Is that it was David, a young 18-year-old guy.
He was that young?
He was 18 at the time when I interviewed him, just turned 18. From a billionaire's background.
Yeah.
Who has everything, but wants to make music, wants to convince everybody that I'm
he's
as
good.
hungry as you all, and I'm also very good. Plus, I'm about to change the game. And that's coming just 12 months after we've had a shift with a Wizkid.
With the Wizkid and everything, yeah.
So you would never think we would have another humongous
kid and
shift
yeah.
from this young kid who already has everything. Guess what? He hits the mark and surpasses it.
Bro.
Plus, everything he said in the first interview.
That he was going to do.
Everything. I spoke to my brother. Shout outs to DJ Larry of Factory 78 who I've worked with.
Shout out to him though. Shout out to
I
him.
spoke to him last night and I told him to go back and watch the Davido interview and cut out some clips there. Because I remember even now, even though it's over 10 years ago, David telling me exactly what he was going to do to the game. I'm going to change this game. I'm coming with culture. I'm coming with visuals. I'm going to show them my lifestyle. I'm going to show them mini documentaries. I'm going to change with swag. He said everything.
But they changed it though.
He did it.
Everything.
I remember when as it's good. You mentioned the mini documentaries, but that was a game changer.
Yeah,
man.
he killed it.
That was a game changer.
He killed it.
So the fact that this young kid that had everything and still had this much drive and passion and said exactly what he wanted to do, and then me to watch him step by step do these things.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. So those two are very, very incredible because a lot of things happen because of that. So I always look up to those two interviews as pivotal moments, even though, there are so many great interviews.
Yeah, of course.
But the one I will always hate is no cat. It's the one I did with Wale.
Oh, the rapper Wale, yeah.
He was, I was coming. I walked into the station. I walked into the record label.
Sorry, to cut you off.
Yeah.
Is he as awkward as people say he is?
1000%.
Because a lot of people say he's awkward as fuck.
To be honest with you, I know he's not gonna like it. He hates the fact that people harp on about that because of the kind of person he is.
So why don't you change it then? Like, why don't you change? Yeah.
I understand to some extent if that's you. Sometimes you don't know that you're doing things.
But if a lot of people
don't
are
like.
saying it though.
No, but still, if that is you, sometimes
It's
you
hard
just
to
find
change,
that you're just
yeah.
thinking like, I'm just being me. I'm just quiet, man.
Yeah,
Listen, man,
yeah.
I ain't doing nothing. Why you guys? Everybody just criticizing me. That's what you think. But he is. If he's in a great, if he's happy and everything is great, he's great. But it's a worst interview. They gave me a signed CD, brand new CD of the Gifted album.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Open that CD for 4 years till I threw it away.
Is it?
Wow, till you threw it away.
It was that bad.
It
was that bad.
I need to go watch it.
But if you watch the
But you know what? I'm gonna go back to bed.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna
but
go
if you
look
watch
where.
the interview, you might not know because of because number one, when I got to to the Atlantic Records building, the first person that saw me at the door was like, "Oh, thank God you're here. You know, he's been acting weird all day. The fact that you're Nigerian and African,
You
at
might-
least
yeah. Like,
we're
he's
gonna open
gonna." And that was the time when he was championing Wizkid.
Right,
Before
right.
everybody else in America heard about Wizkid, he was already championing Wizkid. He linked up with Wizkid the night before, you know. So there was a lot of buzz within our internet space.
Yeah.
That Wale was connecting with Wiz.
Yeah.
He hadn't even gone to Nigeria yet.
For real.
So there was so much stories. So I was like, okay. And I sat down. The minute I walked into the room, I saw him in his mood. I knew, oh, damn.
Got him in that mood.
Like, this dude. I'm going to have to pull out all the stops to try to make this interview.
Yeah, to try to penetrate him, man.
I did everything. If you watch the interview, you might see maybe one of the, but you see me just throwing in
digging,
the best. Yeah,
digging, digging
what's
for gold.
happening?
So what do you mean by awkward? Because I've not seen him
'Cause
being
it's-
interviewed. What does he do?
He's one of those that if he doesn't want to talk,
Oh right.
if you ask him specific questions, he's ready to give you one word answer.
Oh, just one word.
He just wants to shut you out. So you
Wow.
can leave him the F alone, you know. And he's received a lot of criticism around.
Exactly
the
my
world.
point, though.
Everywhere in the world.
Exactly my point. Because you're saying that if he's happy or whatever, clearly he's not. Because the thing is, normally he goes on Twitter and goes on these
moody.
rants.
He's very moody. It's been consistent with media platforms and a lot of other entertainers about his behavior.
That's man, yeah.
But in his defense, like I said, if that is you, where you just, you know, I'm just not for that. I
Yeah,
just
maybe
wanna-
not be built for that kind
Yeah.
of interview in
People
limelight kind of
will-
thing.
People will always, if you're not a people person, unfortunately, the entertainment business is a business for interpersonal skills. Those with the best interpersonal skills, they get most of the time the best press
100%.
because of the way they
Makes
relate
sense,
to people,
makes
the
sense,
way
yeah.
they relate to colleagues, press, all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
those that lack interpersonal skills, please make sure that your talents are absolutely world
Phenomenal. Yeah.
and people can't do without you, then they'll find a way to tolerate, you know, the BS that you bring. But if
But it's
you
true.
don't match to that consistently, when you have your downtime, people come for you hard. That's that guy. Yeah, he's an ass.
No, exactly.
They
Exactly.
will remind you.
Yeah, because the thing is, when it comes to bars,
Yeah.
he can bar you out,
Yeah.
right? He's a phenomenal rapper.
Definitely,
But then
yeah.
for some weird reason, there is that thing that's happening to his career. His career just can't go to the next level.
Wale-
And he hates it
that's
because he
probably
goes on the
why, I
rant.
think.
But a lot of people
Wale-
say he's awkward.
Wale
Wow.
was the person that introduced Lady Gaga to the world.
100%.
What was that?
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Oh.
Wale was the first person to introduce Lady Gaga to the world.
Bro,
Was
what is
a
the name of that
he
song
had.
again? I've forgotten the name of that song.
He's always had deals until he was dropped until Rick Ross pulled him. He
yeah,
was in
yeah.
Rock Nation as well.
He was in Rock Nation.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I do
He was in
remember
Rock
his
Nation with
history.
Jay-Z back in the day.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
used to date Solange back in the day as well.
Oh, is it?
He used to date Solange back in the day.
He's had so many
He's been there.
opportunities, he's been there.
Wow.
However, he's also blessed with the fact that regardless of
All this,
the
yeah,
fact
he's
that
still
he
there.
doesn't reach his heights or where he should be, every single year he has a hit record.
100%.
True.
He's
No,
good. He's dope.
The talent
Yeah,
is there.
No, the talent is dope.
Yeah.
But I think Wale should have been in the realm
No, he knows.
of
He says
like
it all the
Kendrick,
time. Yeah.
J. Cole.
Oh, there. Yeah, yeah.
That era.
He
You know what I mean? He knows. You know?
He says it all the time, and I think his personality.
So
is
his
one of those-
personality is the key
Yeah.
in terms of excelling him and shifting him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a shame, man.
All right, cool. Let's jump into one of your most recent interviews, man. Which I love that interview,
Yeah.
bro. You know, and that was the one where you were talking to Peter of P Square.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, it got
I
to be
fucking
that
love that
one, man.
interview.
Give it up for that interview.
You go, I mean, I fucking love that
But the
interview,
way you
man.
made it.
Big up to Peter, man, because the way you handled the whole interview as well, I was like, bro, this guy's great, man. You know what I mean? Like I was watching because I'm one person. I'm not a big fan of Zoom interviews because I kind of feel that it takes away from.
The last
You
12,
get what I'm saying?
The
Like-
last 12 months has opened
Yeah,
doors. The last
yeah.
12 months has changed things. The last 12 12 months have shifted the way we're going to live our lives for the rest of time.
100%.
And it's made things even a lot comfortable for interviewers and artists and entertainers. So our hunger for wanting to get people in the studio now can stop.
Yeah.
If you can't come into the studio, you can
Zoom.
wake up in your room, just jump on the Zoom.
100%.
On Instagram Live, we can make it happen.
They're
there.
more comfortable in their own environment and can probably give a lot
Talk and
more.
everything.
Can't
Yeah.
You know, so I started that way early into the pandemic lockdown early last year, and I continued with a host of interviews on Instagram Live. With Peter of P Square, it goes back to what I was saying. Peter is an open book, a very comfortable speaker who wants to say stuff.
Yeah,
and has
you
a
can
lot to
tell.
say.
You can tell.
So for the members of the media, he is media gold for us.
yeah.
You only need to ask him one question.
And he goes up.
He goes into a tangent. And second of all, even for PR purposes, he's also great because a lot of people found out stuff because he was talking. People found out a lot more about him and his story, and we're like, oh, so that explains it then. Whereas before we were just going off of what we saw on
Assumptions
blogs
and that, yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So with him, like, and that was why I told him that for me as a media person, even though some people are like, oh, this guy talks too much. No, please don't
Love
stop
it.
talking.
Go on.
Because
Exactly.
we want an entertainer that can engage and have a conversation. Yes, they have to be very careful so they don't have slip-ups that might get them in trouble. I used to be that kind of interviewer that was looking for gotcha moments and viral moments.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Right.
But as a fan of the culture and specific artists now, I'm not looking for your downfall.
Exactly. We don't want to get you in trouble.
I don't want nothing that's gonna make you look bad, trash you, whatever. Apart from if you want to talk about it. So even if I'm gonna ask you questions, I'll ask you questions in such a way that I've given you a bridge not to jump into the water. You know, I didn't want to speak about the fallouts with his brother.
Because that's what I was wondering.
I didn't want to go there. I didn't want, because I know it's it's a very sore subject. I know it always brings back emotions, and he had the potential to say something that was going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's still feeling hurt. I'm a P Square fan.
I love
Through
them,
and
man.
through, you
I love
know.
them,
So
bro. I love them.
they've gone through this in the view of the public for 4 or 5 years. If I'm a P Square fan, do I want to really bring that again?
Dig in there,
No.
so nah, you don't want to do that.
So I asked him questions around it, even though he touched on those.
Yeah.
But I didn't ask him direct questions that would have demanded direct answers that would have made him even say more crazy stuff.
Yeah. Because I was watching that interview, yeah, and I was wondering, because just like you said, you know, we've not seen P Square for a couple years now,
Yeah.
and some of the things that he was saying, I was wondering, bro, is that real beef?
Proper beef. They ain't talking.
Like real beef?
Beef. Their families are not relating. You know, his wife wished his twin brother a happy birthday about 4 or 5 months ago, and the twin brother responded on social media, don't do that, because you haven't wished me a happy birthday in 5 years, so why are you doing it publicly?
But what was the problem? Like, how did he get to this? Because just like you said, we all love P Square.
Yeah.
Like watching them doing all the usher moves and all the
He
like.
explained. I think
You know,
I think he did
he
explain.
explained perfectly in the sense that the
And-
fans were largely responsible. And there was a narrative that was put in the public that P Square, Peter was just a dancer, whilst Paul...
Oh yeah, I can't remember people saying all that.
So there was that narrative that was in the press. Initially, it wasn't a problem because they were making money and doing their thing.
Of course, yeah.
But the consistency of that narrative started to chip away at Peter.
Right.
And then, unfortunately, according to him, his voice was now being put down in a group. Like, you know, if he makes suggestions with regards to music or directions, let's keep going this way. So he's starting to think, you know, there's a narrative out there already. Y'all ain't taking my advice and taking my stuff.
Like I might as well
Then
bounce.
you've added the family beef of not accepting my wife. as family or whatever.
For real?
It's time to walk that walk.
That's mad.
And you know, one good thing I took away from that interview is because I'm not gonna lie, the narrative is his wife. His wife
Yes.
came in and spoiled everything.
Yeah,
and
that was-
I'm not
Oh,
gonna
is
lie,
it?
that is
That
what
was
I've been
narrative.
going for.
Always.
Yeah.
That's
Is
what
it?
I'm
Yes.
But that interview, I wanted to tell him like, what?
Yeah.
That
But he
woman has
told the
been
story.
there from time,
Before they
man.
got money.
Never know,
Yeah. So
Like she was
that
actually helping them.
So that was another great, takeaway from such an interview where he was very open with his conversation. He spoke about the fact that they met this woman as an up-and-coming artist, and this woman was the person that was giving them gigs. So he was a nobody when he met this woman.
Damn.
And then the relationship started. Obviously now he's P-Square, legendary musician. But what people get is that here goes that situation. A mixed race woman
Comes in,
now splits the whole family because he's now a superstar. Not knowing that this was his woman when she actually gave him food.
She's been there from day one.
Yeah,
That's mad.
she put food
On
on the
that time,
table.
that's because I've been going on the
said
thing
that.
about the woman came in and spoiled everything.
Yeah.
That's
They're always the
crazy, bro.
scapegoat. It's just like when we were conversation
Yeah.
with Kim Kardashian, and then
Yeah, it's always
the
the
other
scapegoat.
ones. Always,
There's always a scapegoat.
even though they've helped them excel and bring them up.
100%.
And one thing that I was speaking about recently was the fact that the scapegoat usually is the wife.
That's always the case, though, isn't it?
100%.
Because I actually said this on my podcast, that somehow we believe that,
It's always a woman.
that the wife must take our side. And when they go to bed at night, when they have pillow talk, she's going to talk him into our own stance, forgetting that that's his wife. Her first loyalty
Lies with him.
is to the man that lays down here.
Facts.
So wherever you're going, baby, we're going too.
Facts.
100%.
That's it.
Facts.
So, but in our crazy world, outside of those rooms, that room we're taking now, and she's riding with us. So when she comes and she's like, "No, I'm sticking with my mind." Like, what? She was the one I spoke to.
That's true.
That's the thing.
true.
So
Bloody entitlement, bro, innit? It's entitlement, Evan.
in our twisted world, somehow she's going to disregard the man she lays down with, committed her life to, and said, "You know what, babe? I think I'm gonna rock with those guys because you're talking trash."
That is the end of that relationship, bro.
That-
You know what I mean? Listen, that's the end of it, man. You got what I'm saying? That is the end. You got full stop.
That's the mad thing. That's the mad thing.
But it's real though because it happens in so many families, bro.
It's everything.
Friendship groups as well.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying? Like you always see the both of you are friends. He finds a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Start hanging out with a girlfriend. This person start getting mad.
Yeah.
Like y'all like I've known you for 10, 15 years.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
But
You
some,
got what I'm saying?
but no, but
Sometimes
some
the girls-
girls though, some girls.
They are some. True.
Mama, I don't draw now. Quick, bro. Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
she's like, "Yo, man, I don't want you rocking with those
I'm
guys
telling
anymore."
you,
You
bro.
guys
Some
That
of them, they
guys,
are
they're
toxic
drinking
like
every
that.
time
Yeah.
at the podcast. Different girls come in. I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
fam. Exactly.
And all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? I can't come to the podcast no more.
Exactly. See, you know what?
So there's a good side and a bad side.
You got that.
So, but come on.
Yeah, man. Like, listen,
Yeah,
man.
Nah. It definitely does happen, bro.
Yeah.
The thing is, I always tell people this, bro. If your girl got a problem with something, you know what I'm saying? Cool. If you guys cannot talk about it amicably and sort it out or whatever, and you feel all right, cool, you go ride with your girl. Ride with your girl is cool because I understand that you're supposed to ride with your girl. Because if it was me, I would ride with my girl.
No, but-
Especially
so if that's at what expense
Right.
then?
No. Especially if she's been there from the beginning, like
Right.
just like Peter.
You're in a better position to ride with your wife
Then
because that's the one that
wait,
your
are,
wife.
wait, are we talking wife or girlfriend now?
Wife. That's why I wanted to make it clear.
All right.
Your wife is gonna. There's a potential that she's gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
She's gonna hold you down.
Your girl.
She's gonna.
What happens? She cuts off this whole situation. You don't come in and podcast with your boys, and everything's done. And then 6 months down the line, she moves on to the next rich guy in the neighborhood.
Bro.
You're
You're
friendless,
done. Bro.
you're loveless. Now you got to come back with your
Come back here.
With the tail on the Alexa.
Come back here.
your seats already filled up.
Come back here.
Your boys already have a new commentator, and he's great.
That's it.
Yo, that's that.
Because at the end of the day, bro, that's it. Because at the end of the day, the podcast,
yeah, that's it.
the podcast go, man,
So
bro.
you have
That's
to-
crazy.
When it's your wife, that's why his with Peter was a lot more sensitive. That's his wife, mother of his children. He was going to ride with her.
As he should.
She was going
Obviously,
to
yeah.
ride with him. They built a world together.
As they should.
Unfortunately, again, there'll be other situations in the family that we all don't know and
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
So,
However, when you speak to him, his stance becomes a little bit clearer, and you understand why
Because,
he made the
bro,
decisions he made.
I was watching it. I was thinking about the whole thing. I was like, damn, as someone that grew up watching P Square.
Yeah, it was sad.
Big fan of P Square, you get me? Like, so identical. We were calling them, the Nigerian ushers and everything. But that rumor,
Yeah.
yes, we all heard it.
Everybody heard
that Peter is the dancer.
Everybody heard it.
Wow,
Rude
okay.
Boy was the singer guy.
music maker,
Yeah,
composes
so everybody had
everything,
it.
does
Yeah.
everything,
For
yeah.
people like me that had the opportunity to see them perform, I have memories that would dispel that rumor.
Yeah.
However,
Right.
not that many people around the world. There are millions of fans, whereas we're only thousands that
They've
saw
seen them
perform.
live, yeah.
The fact that he's still doing music now, though, and his
album-
music is
No,
banging,
The album is absolutely A1.
This new one,
quality.
yeah, this new one is-
Fantastic.
Banging.
Fantastic. And I think that proves the point. He proves his point that he is a talented brother. He justifies his stance.
Yeah.
That, his style of music does work and there's a space for it within
100%,
Afro
bro.
culture. And number three, that the perception that everybody had that he couldn't do nothing is absolute gutter. He's an incredible talent.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know
No,
what?
but I think to be fair though, from time I never believed it because you could tell this.
Nah,
this
he's
are
dope.
Two
He's dope as
talented
fuck,
people,
bro.
man.
He's dope as fuck.
They're
They're about dope, man.
But
And
the thing is, as surrounded it, they're both making money, so
that's
lot
the
more
thing.
power
than
to
they
them.
made.
Yeah. They're
That's the thing,
making
bro.
more than what they used to make. So hey,
Me personally, I just didn't
Afrobeats.
like the way he was just, he would just say, "Listen, I'm making my money now. This,
He's
and,
angry.
and like it kind of was like throwing shade on, on the other group.
No, he's just
it like came
angry.
across that way.
He's angry. He's emotional. And I think education and information nowadays, we have
Helps,
to
yeah.
allow ourselves some leeway.
Yeah.
You can't expect anything less from somebody that has been made to believe he was worth nothing.
100%.
Someone who's
100%.
been made
True,
to
true.
believe that
100%. He's
his
gonna go hard.
talent
He'll go
was
hard.
Absolute rubbish.
Rubbish, yeah.
Somebody that was made to believe that once he left the group, he was going to die of hunger. And yet he's here.
He's still
he's
here.
spelling
Still killing it.
everything.
He's still killing
making
it.
Incredible music. He's making a lot more money.
He's still killing
He's
it.
feeding himself and his family. He's enjoying himself.
Facts.
I'm a little bit braggadocious and a little bit emotional about it because the wound still hurts.
Still there,
Regardless
yeah,
of anything
still there.
Everybody wants to say that's his twin brother, not his blood brother.
The twain, bro.
That's the person he came to this world with.
At the same
Yeah.
time.
So there's still a hole
There,
that they
yeah.
will still have to feel.
They still have to
But
feel
for
it,
now,
yeah.
There will be other emotions to mask
All
that
that.
hole.
All that. At the end of the day, man, shout out to P Square, man.
We're fans.
Shout out to Peter.
Facts.
Shout out to Rude Boy. Hopefully one of these days
We're gonna get it.
we're gonna get a nice
Yeah,
P Square album.
We're gonna get it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's family.
They'll come out.
They might not be dancing the same, like you got me. They might not be dancing the same anymore
Let's do
because,
something.
bro, I was looking at my man. I was thinking, my man's getting older, bro. I'm not sure he's still gonna be dancing all
We
that.
saw Earth, Wind, and Fire at the Versus.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about?
Hey, imagine that. And my man was still looking fresh.
James Brown was dancing till he was gone.
You get what I'm
Prince
saying?
was dancing
Them guys
till
were
the
still
end.
looking fresh,
If you
bro.
go and watch them, this old rock, Rolling Stones or whatever, they're giving it all.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah, man. They're
that's
still
what-
there, man. They're still there.
There's time.
They're still there. They're still there.
But with this app, with the Afrobeats now and then, we've talked about the insecurity in Nigeria. So what do you think? Do you think is the time where these artists need to start, awakening that consciousness, like people, turning their music towards?
They
That-
have. They
but
have.
it's not- that kind of music is not really-
They have. Techno Mouse, Rara, Yemi Alade criminal in Agbada, Wizkid, you know.
And my man dropping names.
Back to back for you.
My man dropping
They've done
names.
it from time. It was just that we were dancing to hey, Rara. He was saying he don't take. Since 1960, they've been lying to us. No electricity, they stole our money. He said that in a hit record.
Back
almost 10 years ago. But we decided to
Dance
You know, Yemi is singing criminal in Agbada. She's saying that.
No, but it's not our fault if you put a nice beat to it.
Listen, bro.
Tiwa Savage is saying Ole in her record. You know, a full record dedicated to calling out politicians and how badly they've robbed us. But we decided to dance to it and forget the words in it. You know, what's Whiskey Bang Bang Bang? He's been talking that talk.
Shout out to Whiskey, bro.
So
Shout out to
talking,
Whiskey.
it's just that we don't listen. Timaya, do we want to talk about Timaya?
Timaya's always been there, yeah.
Timaya's always been there, bro.
That. You know,
True
Two-Face
that,
has been on that.
Burna Boy.
Listen, but then you can't fault us though. Listen, the music is too sweet, bro.
Yeah, but they try.
You know what I mean? The beats are
I think
banging,
from the
bro.
Western world, from like let's say UK, I think the perception of like dance hall is it's in the club you're dancing and whatever.
Yeah.
So Afrobeat is that kind of thought process. That's the only music that comes out It's
From
much
there,
deep
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, and obviously
100%.
Because it's
we
pop.
the UK people ain't really understanding
The language.
Yeah. They're just like, oh yeah, like you say with the beat, and it's like,
But
Do you know what I
slowly,
mean?
slowly, with the likes of the Wizkids, the new generation, you know, that slowly their languages and their words and their lyrics are starting to transcend. Yay is a conscious song.
Very conscious.
Yeah.
Very conscious.
If you actually
very
song.
conscious, bro.
So that song basically was saying, yay, like they've killed us.
Yeah.
So it was a frustration song. But it's just that we decided,
The beat too sweet, brother.
Exactly.
The beat too sweet, brother.
It's
You
not
know what I
like,
mean?
becomes a trend on TikTok or it's like
That's
a
it, man.
birthday thing.
That's it.
you know
The
what I
one
mean?
he
That's
did,
it.
The one Burna Boy did with Manifest. In they do me by they do me at the beginning of the song.
That song
they
was
spoke
some banger.
about how Nigeria was a
it was
business
sold
deal.
and
He's talking like they're talking his
No,
talk.
to be fair though, his album, he really did
They're
touch on
talking.
it. Yeah.
Killing it.
For
Touched on
me,
it.
I think initially I was also one of those people. These people need to be talking about the problem, but they're talking about it. It's just that Nigerians is the Nigerian mentality. No matter how tough life is, you still want to find something to smile
want to
about.
enjoy.
So these guys and girls are a reflection of that mentality. Yes, they can keep talking, but they also still want to put a smile on people's faces. And they want to tell stories that are relatable to us. And hence why they will make all of those songs. But I kid you not, no album from any of these A-list stars, Wiz, David, Burna, Yemi, Tiwa, none of these guys has a project out that does not have a real issue song, at least one.
Shout out to all them guys, bro. Shout out to all them guys. They are killing it because it's so amazing seeing Yemi Alade with Beyonce. Right? She is murdering it.
Crazy.
Right? We are seeing fucking Burna Boy. The Grammys, man.
But he's raised the bar, man.
He's killed it. Right? We are looking at Burna Boy doing what he's doing.
Grammy Award
Yeah. 2-time.
back to back.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
That's not a game.
That's not a game, bro.
I see him winning at least 3 or 4.
That is not easy.
He's gonna
Easy.
He's got
Easy.
the keys. I know how to get here now.
Well, when we come to the,
I know how to get here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he knows how to get to a nomination like this.
Yeah.
The song he dropped on Friday has become playlisted on every platform in the UK, from Kiss FM to Capital Extra to BBC to The Beat London. Everybody's playlisted it, and it instantly got played at a Washington Wizards and Dallas Mavericks game this morning.
Bro.
Wow.
48 hours.
Bro.
So, he's got the keys. I know how to drive from Dagenham to this place now. I could do it with my eyes closed.
He knows how to drive. He knows how to drive straight to the Grammys, bro. he knows how to drive straight to the Grammys, bro.
The team is the same team. So they're going to do that in their sleep. They will take him to the Grammys. Every time he drops an album, at least for the next 2 or 3 years, Burna has in that conversation.
It's like Drake,
No,
innit?
just like Drake.
Just like Drake,
He
it's
fits
just-
the image.
He has a flavor now, bro.
Plus, he's won it.
Yeah.
The fact that he won that, he fits the image. He's with the team that's working for him. His music, he's on a Justin Bieber album. Are you kidding me?
The album, bro.
He's on
Not a remix.
bro.
Actual
His
album,
voice is on the Pepsi advert.
That's
He's
mad.
on the Grand Theft Auto. What are you talking about?
My guy's
Do you know what he's done?
Burna is big.
He's
No,
on
he's big.
Quid and Slim. So there's Quid and Slim, the movie.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, he's the soundtrack. Pepsi 2021, he's the soundtrack. Then he's on Justin Bieber's album. Boom. Then he's got other Psy. He did one with Psy. He did one with Sam Smith. He's got one with Ed Sheeran. He's got 2 with Stormzy. What are you talking about? Dave.
Oh, Heady one.
Yeah.
Eddie won as well, man. My man is killing it, bro.
So it's a continuous process. And then he's done Naughty by Nature. Then he's going to do some other dudes. Burna Boy, I describe him a lot of times and I try to break it down. He is a Nigerian that writes and sings in broken English, has a South London swag, looks like he's from Atlanta hip-hop era, and can sing in dancehall.
Yeah.
So he's the first
He got the full
African
package,
artist
bro.
that
He's got the
cuts
full package.
across every genre like this.
He got the full
Then
package,
he can
bro.
do Afrobeat music.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Beat.
Without the S.
Yeah, he can do the fella thing.
No, yeah, he can. No, he
So-
can. I know he can.
So it's easy.
Wait, you wanted to say something, which I know what you want to say.
Yeah, because we need to shut you up for a minute.
Okay, so what you want to say, bro?
Because I think what pizza with this? Because we're talking about what? So is there
2-3 weeks ago or something, innit?
Is there another level for Burna? Have you? Because he feels like Burna's got to that. Yeah,
I
so
think
there's
no.
nowhere to.
Yeah, this is what I said.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not talking about awards or whatever, right? I'm talking about musically.
Okay.
Body of work,
Yes.
album,
Yeah.
right? I think it comes across like he's reached his peak because even though the latest album,
Twice as tall.
won the Grammy,
Yeah.
I personally think,
Yeah.
this is my opinion,
Okay.
that the African Giant is a better body of work.
Do you want me to answer your question?
Go ahead.
First of all, everybody accepts that African Giant is a classic album.
That's what I'm saying.
A classic album.
Yeah.
Nas had a classic album in 1993.
100%.
Illmatic.
Yeah.
But he's still continuing.
He's still Nas.
dropping incredible.
He's still Nas.
Twice as Tall. People forget that that's Burna Boy's 6th album. 6th album.
Bro, that's crazy.
So
bro.
when you get to a 6th album, you have earned the right to do whatever you want to do on an album coming from a classic album. When you drop a classic album, you have earned the
Energy
right
God on you, bro.
Energy God.
whatever you want to do.
100%.
You want to perform with Naughty by Nature, you want to do. And then I tell people again, if you drop a 12, 15 track album for me, and I can pick 6, 7 tracks out of that album for my culture,
That's
it's
fucking
a win.
dope. That's
It's
a
a
win
win.
right there.
A big
Easy.
win.
That aside,
Easy.
him reaching his peak, I think you're absolutely 1,000% absolutely wrong.
Yikes.
Because Burna Boy,
Yikes. I thought that my man was gonna say he was you're absolutely right. You gotta be like, I really.
because it's like finding a sweet spot. Burna Boy now knows what you want to hear. And you are in trouble for that.
He can just dish it to
That's
you.
why
Easy.
he dropped Kilometer, and Kilometer did what it did in
Bro,
24
That's
hours.
a
That
tune.
tune, bro. That's a tune, bro.
Bring you back. Burna Boy is originally a dancehall artist who raps and rhymes but can sing. So when you listen to him,
That's dangerous.
so when you listen to him, whatever you like as a fan, he has the potential to serve it to you in one go. Same as Wizkid. They were rappers and
Yeah.
dancehall artists.
Yeah.
Wizkid was a reggae artist. People
Yeah.
forget that.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
dancehall artist.
Yeah.
They started with dancehall. So these guys are rhyme stars. They are. So now that they're singing, they are singing their raps. So their punchlines are incredible. Their lyrics.
That's
are
a dangerous
fantastic.
package, man.
And then they can ride the beat like it's nobody's
Dangerous
business.
package.
So
Dangerous package.
He's found himself a sweet spot. He's enjoying himself now. He has a body of work in the stash at any point. He's about to drop another album.
That's crazy.
He's going to drop another one in 3 months.
That's
They're in
Wow.
trouble.
We listen. We want to be in trouble. You get me? We all want to be in trouble.
It's like saying that Wizkid has reached his peak. Never. When you hear, the last album, you know that the world is in trouble. Because that was a reflection of his state of mind.
Yeah.
That whole album was a reflection of his state of mind. I'm chilling in London, I've got my little baby here, I'm here eating, drinking, smoking anytime I want. Beautiful girls in the studio.
What
Life
else do I
is
want?
great. And he
That is
translated that
proper,
in a
yeah.
body of work.
Yeah.
And everybody took that like
That's
like
it.
that. So easy. So all he needs to do, he's been in Ghana again, a different mentality since the 24th of December.
Yeah.
He's lived there for the last 4 or 5 months.
He's doing his thing
He's
over there,
recorded
man.
songs as well. That's reflecting
Africa
the
now.
state of
Experiences
mind
there.
there.
Yeah.
Imagine when he now puts that out. So that's where these guys and these people are. They're in a position where they are now comfortable to serve us how they feel.
Yeah.
And they see that we're taking it.
Easy.
So there's no peak, there's no ceiling.
Easy.
What can only happen is because of their expertise and their experience and how incredible they are now teaching, instead of the young kids to start from the ground, the young kids can start from where Burner had reached with maybe African Giant or whatever. Shout outs to Fireboy who dropped a classic album coming out of the gate. That's rare.
That boy is dope, man.
Oh, it's rare.
That boy is on
For me,
fire.
When it comes to this new generation, the classic album guys, very few. Wizkid had a debut classic. Ice Prince had a debut classic. In my opinion, Davido had a debut classic, but some people still beg to differ.
We're gonna talk about Davido.
Yeah, people bet, but I believe
gonna
he
talk
had
about-
a classic album out of the gate.
Yeah.
Because his sound was perfect. It was in between R&B and Afrobeats, so it was great. And if you go down the line, you look at people like Yemi Alade and whatever. She hit a classic album when she did the Africa.
She's fucking dope, man.
She had a classic album.
She's fucking dope,
So
man.
a lot of these guys and girls have now found
Their sweet spot.
classics. Yes.
Their sweet spot.
And so it's great. The only thing that can take away from them is if they lose their hunger or they misuse their funds. Because you got to invest back into that.
100%.
You have to be able to shoot top videos.
100%.
Brianna dropped a video straight away. He's dropped a video every 4 weeks for the last 4 months.
Dude is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
He's on fire, bro.
dropped
He's a machine.
Later, he's dropped 23. So he's doing it back to back to back. And then he dropped Kilometer exactly 4 weeks after 23 was released.
Crazy.
No, but the thing with Bonner though is if you actually listen to his lyric, about that guy, they talk. I think.
Nah. The guy's a machine.
If something where
The guy's a machine,
you dance
bro.
to it, you
State
dance
of
to it,
mind.
all right, but you can listen to
The
where
guy
it's
they
coming
are.
from.
The
You
guy they
get
are.
it.
That from 2012.
The Guardian.
So he's come with that energy since 2012. However, as an audience, we didn't give him the attention from that time. So now that we're giving him the attention, it's like,
Oh my God, this guy's. But he's been
Yeah.
dope.
the same thing.
Oh, no.
His stories never change. He had Soke was about the problems of Nigeria.
Hard.
He had that. He's always had those records every year that he dropped.
The thing about Bonner, he's like that crack. He's like that crack dealer, right? That you don't know about. He's been selling dope for time, and now you just find out, damn, this guy has good dope. But he's been selling dope for time, bro. And now you're hooked. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm a big Bonner fan, and I hope that he's not reached the ceiling, because when I heard his new album and the old one, I was like, damn, the old one you can't skip
No,
one track.
unfortunately, you can't.
You get what I'm saying?
If you're a music fan, you have to get to a position. I had to train myself. You know, I had to train myself so that would allow you to enjoy
Appreciate other ones,
music
yeah.
and everything.
So I had to train myself to kind of just, what's happening with Twice as Tall? Okay, the first 1 or 2 records or 3 records, maybe it wasn't for me. But the minute he hit Onyeka, Bebo, Koma, 23, Naughty by Nature, bank on it. You're talking to me. So if you're talking to me with 5, 6 songs,
I'm good.
I'll give you 5
I'm good. I'm good. True that, man. True that.
That's it. And that's how I want people to think. You know, I was listening on my way here, listening to the young King Perry. I didn't even expect something like that from King Perry. I never paid him that type of time. And the brother came with a crazy album. I'm blown away. This is my 5th listen in 2 days. Joe Boy, absolutely out of the world crazy.
That's dope.
You know, so I'm super gassed at these young boys
are killing it, man. They are killing it. The talent right now that's coming out of Africa, Nigeria is dangerous.
Like King Promise and Kwame, if you decide not to give them and say, man, listen, this ain't whiskey, man. This song ain't cool. You're not going to be able to listen to
You are the one that's going to lose.
Have you heard this guy's work, Black Bones?
I was listening. That's the album I'm listening to now.
Black Bones is sick.
That's the album I listened to until I got here.
Sick.
You know, so
he's killing
I'm
it.
listening to that as well. I decided to let me give him a listen too. Yeah, there are a couple of the songs that I'm like, a little bit too much in terms of his direction and the lyrics of the records or whatever, but so far so good.
Man, he's fucking dope, man.
I'm on the 6th track.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's good sounds. But Joe Boy and these boys, they killing it, man.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to be able to be a good judge.
Just before we get it for Javier, you said something about Davido.
Yes.
And we've had a very, very, very deep argument here. Yeah. I think Davido is talented as fuck. But a lot of people give him flags, right? Because just like you said, he came from a billionaire family and everything. A lot of people are saying, when you have the money, things are going to be easier for you. You're going to get to the top and everything. I disagree with that. You get what I'm saying? Because, for example, when you see, okay, I'm going to use the Kardashian family now.
Yeah.
Right? Rob, he's the boy in the family.
Yeah.
He has the money to do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
Yeah.
But still, he can't. He's a bum. Right? No,
you think
straight up.
That's true, though.
No, it's not.
Maybe he likes that.
I don't believe that because you come from a rich family.
His PR is not good, but he's not a bum.
Bro, call it whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that because you come from a rich family, things are gonna you're gonna hit it. I don't think so.
First of all, Davido is one of the most incredibly gifted entertainers we have out of Africa. Davido is one of the most unique entertainers we have seen on the African continent. Unique in a variety of ways. Number one, his drive for success and hunger for the culture should not be at that level based on how comfortable
he is.
His lifestyle is.
That's my point.
That hunger.
It takes.
That's my point.
How the Nigerians that I know, including myself, I could not look at a bank balance of near $1 billion.
And then still he doing all.
And wake up to work that hard.
When ShopsyDoo says he wants to interview you, you still turn up, being excited and doing 20, 30 interviews.
That's mad.
That's one. Number two, when David came into the game, a lot of people forget that at that time we had so many options. Wiz was blowing up, Ice Prince was blowing up, more hits, and One Day Cole were going crazy. Everybody was going crazy.
Shout out to One Day though.
I grew up with voices like Orlando Owo in Nigeria where they were husky. I grew up with Bryan Adams. I grew up with Phil Collins. Husky voices that had soul and were able to translate songs in a completely different way to how Lionel Richie would translate or R. Kelly would translate. Sting was one of the biggest artists when I was growing up, he came with that husky feel to his voice. But he was able to do exactly what everybody else was doing
100%.
in his own way. David came into the game with a husk to his voice. Plus, he also was a high life, even though he was doing Afrobeats, David was a little bit high life.
Yeah.
So if you listen to his songs, his Emma Dami Duro, those were high life influenced lyrics
Tunes, yeah.
and records.
Yeah.
So his vocal ability suited that perfectly. Plus, he opened the door to the younger generation, understanding that there are different vocal ranges when it comes to making music. Now, put that aside. Let's talk about hit records, hit selections, and consistency.
For days.
The only artist in Africa that can stand eye to eye with David when it comes to dipping in the bag and pulling out those hit records will be Starboy Wizkid.
I thought you were gonna say Bonner though. I thought you were gonna say Bonner though.
Bonner can, because he too has now had a catalog that there are so many songs in that catalog. We've got to be honest, Bonner is an amazing, incredible artist that's at that level right now.
Yeah.
But over the last 2-3 years, 2018 is when he stepped into that level.
Yeah. He's the king now. He's the king now.
And David,
They've been around.
They've been
They've
in
been
that
there for
level
time.
since 2012, bro. And let me shock you and remind you that none of them fell out of that level till today. Do you know what it takes?
The both of them just
to
reminds
be
me.
at that level for 10 years, and people say you don't have talent, yet you can do a 2-hour show with hit records back to back. David was the first entertainer bar P-Square that picked up his bags from Kenya to Ivory Coast to Tanzania, Tanzania to South Africa, South Africa to Ghana. Concerts, collaborations, features, performances, promoting himself beyond his market.
That's
He was
crazy.
the first after P-Square. Nobody else
Yeah, I
could have
think
done that. So when we celebrate Wiz for his greatness and Burner and Yemi and Tiwa and whatever, we have to clear
The road
seat
for
where
Davido.
David sits.
No,
His own
of
throne.
course. Yeah.
Because of, do you know how many rich kids are in the game now? I don't want to mention them to you, you'll be shocked. Yeah. Do you know how many rich kids are in the game now? But they still can never
break it. Yeah.
sniff.
Yeah.
They can't sniff David's ankle. If it was the money, there are so many rich kids in Afrobeats right now. Some of them have even fell out.
But that's my point.
Some of them have gone with their money. They carry the money come and carry the money go.
See, that's my point though. Because that was what I was saying.
If I mention names, you'll be stunned. You'll be big bags. I'm not talking just like
Little bags.
big bags. And that's because David also inspired a generation of comfortable
kids,
young guns that could tell their parents that, yo, I want to do this, even though they're coming from a rich background.
Yeah.
And that's through David as well. But he's kept it at that level consistently. Like, yo, people need to
give me respect, man.
No. Every argument with David not being talented is,
bro.
I don't.
That's what I always tell people. Like me personally,
if I ask you a simple question, what is talent? What's talent to you? What would you say if I say a talented musician? What would be the first thing that comes to your mind? What would you identify as talent for a musician?
Someone that's kind of getting to a level where the music hits deep and it kind of, you can relate to it, hits you on an emotional level, something that you feel good about when you hear it.
Good. If I ask you what's a talented musician, what would be the first thing that comes to your mind?
I would say a talented musician, right? It's someone who can go into a studio and create something, right? That whatever he or she creates will resonate with every person that actually listens to it.
If I go to you, my brother.
Yeah, so I'm saying same thing. It resonates with, but mine is resonate with me. Okay. So if you can, in your time, whatever you do, and then do something, and then I relate to it, then that is talent.
Do you know that there's something that we didn't mention? Nobody said, great vocals or incredible lyrics.
Boom.
You see?
True.
Whereas the general public, when they're speaking about talent, the first thing that comes to their mind is, the focus has to be la.
Yeah, exactly. Like he can't sing, he's always shouting.
So that's why they come. Whereas talent comes in exactly the ways you mentioned. Being able to identify the perfect, records to deliver to an audience that they would accept. 1. 2, identifying the right people to work with you to create greatness. 3, being the face of the content that you're creating and people accept it based on how you deliver it to them.
Damn.
That's the different forms of talent. So there are great musicians that lack that talent and will fail every day of the week. Of course. Because they can write great music and can sing
forever, but
still,
they're just not.
They're nowhere.
It doesn't.
You're nowhere.
Together.
You're nowhere. To me, that's part of the reason why I rate him. Like I know a lot of people give him flack, but I'm one of them people that it's not easy what he does.
No,
Waking up in the morning, knowing that your dad is rich, or knowing that you came from a rich home, and still say, you know what, I still want to go out there and earn my one and doing my bro. I rate that any day of the week, bro.
Davido, man.
Bro.
Davido alone, I beg.
Trust me, man. Like, listen, but man, thank you so much, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much. You coming down here to kick it with us and everything, we appreciate you, man.
Man.
Thank you for blessing us with your energy.
You're doing here.
Seriously, man.
That's people like us wish that we had people like that could come in and just inspire us a little bit and just pass a little bit of the energy when we're doing
the knowledge and everything, man.
This does a lot. So it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. Unfortunately, I couldn't drink, but
Nah. It's all good. Can you tell the viewers, obviously, about your show, where they can see you, where they can listen to you and everything?
So,
bro?
man, I've got a podcast every single week. It's called Adesope Live, the official Afrobeats podcast. It breaks down the hottest topics in the culture. You can catch it on all platforms from YouTube to Apple, Spotify. Subscribe, like, share. And, of course, if you're in the UK or Europe, you can catch us on Yanga TV every Saturday. That's 7:30 p.m. and Monday repeat at 7 p.m. Sky 186. FreeSat 17274. Check it out, Yanga TV.
That's what's up, man. Can you spell that? What he just said right now?
What should I say? What he just said? I was writing it down, man.
It wasn't laughing for me. That would be hard.
And also you can check out this podcast, FOTB Network on YouTube, or follow us on IG, Fresh Off the Boat Pod. Go on YouTube, subscribe, like it, leave a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. Please tell your friends about us and everything. At the end of the day, we are not here without you guys and all that, So thank you so much to all the viewers and whatnot. And before we leave here, you've been around for time. A legend in this game. When it's all said and done, when people mention your name, what would you want people to remember?
He was a proud African that loved Afrobeats.
That's what's up.
Love that, man. Love that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you very much.
All the way.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
You
know what I mean? And before we leave, one more question.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see on this seat?
Anybody, man. I think it's a great vibe. It's a great energy. It's a great room. I think anybody within our culture can come in here and just cut it with you guys and just have a calm conversation. Anybody should come here. Anybody from all of the Afrobeats artists, anybody in the culture, anybody, man.
That's what's up, man.
I'll throw people your way.
Bro.
And then
listen, bro. Energy God. My bro, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. We really, 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 really do appreciate you. Go check out his podcast. Check out everything that he's doing, man. Trust me, you will absolutely love it. And we're going to be here back again next week, same time. Check out this episode. It drops on Thursday. What date is it Thursday again?
I feel it's like the 4th or 5th.
6th.
The
5th, 6th,
the 6th and that. So this is gonna drop on the is it 6th or 7th?
I think it's 6th.
Yo, the time's
Let's
going
make sure,
that
bro.
quick.
Bro, the time goes flies by.
believe it,
Yeah,
me.
yeah, bro. Like, this is the 6th. So this episode is going to drop on the 6th. You're going to find it on all your platforms. And until next week, peace.